over here. Alright, so yeah, Josh is over there. He's going to go and lay out my deck. Yeah, so pretty much the... You all ready? Yeah. Alright, so yeah, pretty much you guys have been watching it. It's, yeah, I call it Star Seraph Garden combo, I guess. Or they've been calling it Black Garden OTK. But yeah, so pretty much starts off, we have the 3 Armageddon Knights. Armageddon Knight actually only has a few targets in the deck, but it's integral to the deck because it's level 4. I can search it with Rhoda, and it sets up a lot of the... Yeah, it sets up most of the big combos. The biggest thing that it's going to be dumping is the 2 copies of Summoner Monk. Yeah, so 2 copies of Summoner Monk. Like, if I could play 3, I'd definitely play 3. It's at 1 in the OCG, and I'm honestly surprised it isn't still at 1 over here. Like, card's ridiculous. Just, it grabs whatever you want from your deck, so... And then usually the Summoner Monks... yeah, like, the deck is geared to get out Summoner Monks so that I can get out my Star Seraph engine, which I have the 3 Star Seraph Scepter, 3 Star Seraph Sovereignty. Yeah, usually the deck will... try and bring out the Scepter to search into a Sovereignty early, and then if I can either play out another Scepter, Monk into another Scepter, or call the Haunted it back, I get the full Stick Chair combo, and yeah, that's usually overwhelming. The other monsters I play a 1 of Photon Thrasher. It's another thing I can Rhoda into, and it's a light for BLS, and yeah, it's just quick special summon. And then I have the 1 of Zephyros and the 1 of Trick Clown. Both of those, I honestly hate drawing them, but they're necessary for a lot of your other combos. Usually you'll dump out Zephyros with Armageddon Knight if you don't need a Monk already, and like I'll use it to bounce any of my continuous cards to just get out an extra monster. And sometimes I'll bounce my monsters to get to reuse their effects. Like sometimes I'll have a Stick Chair combo get stopped short by something, and I'll bounce the chair to my hand so that next time I summon Stick, I can do the combo again, stuff like that. The Trick Clan is there mainly to enable OTKs. I'm usually summoning it out of my deck with the Summoner Monk, and it just allows me to, when I overlay into a monster, I can detach it, get it back, make a second Exceed, and usually those OTKs involve the Performate Trapeze Magician, which since Monk and the Trick Clown are both spellcasters, it lets me do. Yeah, and then the last 2 monsters in the deck are BLS, and I play a 1 of Effect Veiler right now. The Veiler might end up becoming something else. I was playing 2 for a while, and when I was working in other cards, I trimmed it down. So that might end up getting cut for something else, but for now it works. And BLS is just BLS, no real explanation needed. For the spells, I play the main engine is all field related, so I play triple Terraforming, triple Black Garden, and then 2 copies of Chicken Game. So yeah, like if you're just joining in, you didn't see it before, or if you were confused as to how exactly it was working, usually I'll be summoning Armageddon Knight with the Black Garden on the field, and then with the Black Garden on the field, it gives my opponent a token that's 800 attack, and the Armageddon Knight will dump Summoner Monk to the graveyard. Black Garden has another effect that says you can destroy all plants on the field and itself to bring back a monster with the same attack, and since the tokens are 800 attack and Monk is 800 attack, I blow up the token and get Monk to the field. So it's a 2-card combo that essentially summons Summoner Monk straight out of my deck. And then the Summoner Monk can then go on to summon whatever else. The Chicken Games are in there for additional consistency, and it gives me another thing. If I have a hand that doesn't need Black Garden, or I don't have the pieces to get Black Garden going, I can search for Chicken Game. And being able to bounce Chicken Game for Zephyros is really strong, because I can play it, draw a card, and then deny my opponent the draw on their turn. Then I play 3 Rhoda, Reinforcement of the Army. There's only 4 targets for it, the 3 Armageddon Knights and the Photon Thrasher, but Armageddon Knight's really important, and it's arguably better than having another warrior in the deck by itself because it's a spell I can discard to Monk. I'm playing 1 copy each Dark Hole and Raigeki. The Dark Hole came in mainly because of the Negros matchup, really annoying to deal with Unicorn. And yeah, and again, just every spell in here is disposable because of Monk. Then to make sure my plays go through, I'm playing 2 copies of Forbidden Lance. I feel it's better than MST in the main deck right now for a combo deck like this, because the main things I'm worried about are, like, if my opponent has a bunch of back row and I have to MST 1 to try and get my playthrough, then the odds aren't for me. But if I have the Lance to protect it, it's like I can wait for my opponent to flip the trap that's trying to disrupt me, and the Lance will make sure my play goes through. And then I'm also playing Book of Moon as a one of, Foolish as a one of. Foolish will usually send either the Zephyros or the Trick Clan if I need that play, or if I'm stuck with a Garden play and no Armageddon Knight, I'll use it to dump the Summoner Monk. And then Soul Charge is in there. And yeah, Soul Charge, just easy comeback card, makes it so that you can get games out of nowhere. And once again, if you have it and you don't need it, you can pitch it to Monk. The trap lineup's really simple, just 3 Call the Haunteds. Yeah, those are just there to, essentially they make sure that I get additional pushes if they disrupt my play, use that to bring back Summoner Monk, or a lot of the time when I Monk into the Scepter, I can use that to bring back the Scepter and do the full Scepter Sovereignty Star Seraph combo. And yes, that's the main thing. And then the last 3 cards in the deck are just some Floodgate cards to draw into. I play 2 Deck Lockdown and Emptiness. So the Deck Lockdowns are actually a new addition, and actually the Emptiness is fairly new. I wasn't playing the Emptiness until the Regional this past weekend. I came to a realization that a lot of the games that I'd go off, I'd still end up losing because I was forced to go off too early. I'd run out of steam, and my opponent would be able to come back into the game. So I was like, well, with these cards in the deck, you're usually drawing at least 2 cards, usually 3 off of the Stick Chair combo. So it gives you more cards that you can draw into that you can then play afterwards and let you just combo, let you keep control over the game after you've comboed off. The Deck Lockdown's bonus, once again, because it's a spell. So if I'm in a matchup where it doesn't help me game 1, or if I don't have any other option, and I just drew it as a dead card, I can pitch it to Monk, combo off, and if I don't draw the other one, whatever, I still got my big board set up. So yeah, that's strong. Extra deck, since it's a Stick Chair deck, I have a bunch of things that need 3 materials. I play Deltaros, easily the strongest one. Ouroboros, because it can pick off cards from their hand and disrupts their other stuff, and Masquerade. Masquerade's really clutch because it stops all the monster effects that your opponent will be using in the battle phase. Big thing is it stops Valk, it stops Damage Juggler. In the Cosmo matchup, it stops them from tagging out in the battle phase, stops Honest, stops Duraghetto, stops, what else? Stops the spaceships. Yeah, it sort of stops Gores. They can drop. It's like if they drop it on battle damage, they still take it. It does 800 damage afterwards, so they can then drop it again because they took effect damage. But it at least neutralizes a token. So yeah, that's nice. And then I play the Ptolemaeus, like easily the best rank 4 in the game right now, if I had to say. I almost want to play 2, but I haven't found the space. And then for Ptolemaeus to rank up into, there's the Diamond. I have Tiras, and I have Pleiades. Usually the go-to is Pleiades, because it's disruptive, or Diamond in the matchups where it hurts. But the Tiras is there for, I'm sure if any of you that were watching, it happened at least 2 or 3 times. If you end on the Pleiades and you just leave the materials on it, waiting to see what you want to go into, if they Dark Hole or Raigeki, you go into the Tiras, and since the Tiras will at least have the Ptolemaeus as a material, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So essentially makes them waste their Dark Hole or Raigeki. So that's the main reason for the Tiras. It's also 26, which once or twice I've had instances where that extra 100 attack actually made a difference for going for game. So yeah. Then I have a bunch of generic rank 4s. I have Dweller, I have Castel, Exciton, Rhapsody, and Emerald. Like, these are just generic staple cards, problem solvers, disruptive cards. Emerald lets you restock your sticks and chairs. And then the last 3 spots are more geared towards OTKs. I have Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, which is just a big answer, Crab King, and then Trapeze Magician. Performance Trapeze Magician is usually how I enable all my big OTKs, where I'll either overlay 2 Summoner Monks or a Summoner Monk with a Performance Trick Clown. And it allows any of your other monsters to attack twice. So I did this once or twice earlier. Okay, if you open either the Armageddon Garden combo to get out the Armageddon Summoner Monk, or Summoner Monk with 2 spells, you can bring out the Trick Clown, overlay the Trick Clown with one of your monsters to make the Crab King, and then it goes to 3,000, detaching the Trick Clown. It comes back and you overlay it with the Summoner Monk for the Trapeze Magician, and that's just 8,500 damage real quick. So yeah, and you can, if your opponent has 1 monster on board, you can do the same thing with the Dark Rebellion Dragon, where you steal half of the attack, and if that monster is at least 1,000 attack when you do that, then it's also lethal damage. So yeah, that's the extra deck. Side deck, it's still obviously shaping up, but 2 anti-magic arrows and 3 MST, 2 Fairy Wind. This is all back row hate. Pretty much MST is the generic go-to for if I'm worried about Floodgates. Fairy Wind is more geared towards Cliff Forts, but works against other Floodgate decks as well. Anti-magic arrows is a card I use against decks like Burning Abyss and Teller Knights, where essentially it's a cold wave, but only for battle phase and main phase 2. So when my opponent sets up a big board, I'll anti-magic arrows, and then I'll either make an Exciton in main phase 2 or do my stick chair combo in main phase 2, so they can't do anything and they lose their field. The rest of it's essentially to stop them from stopping me. I have Dark Hole, that comes in against Necros usually, and a couple other matchups, like I brought it in against Infernoids. I have Triple Breakthrough Skill, those are for Shadals and Necros. Again, Unicore is just a complete pain to deal with, so you want as many ways to shut it down as possible. And then I have 2 Iron Walls, these are for some of the rogue matchups in Cosmo. And then I have 1 Cyber Dragon Dre. It's a Cyber Dragon that's level 4, so I can grab it out of my deck with Summoner Monk, and it makes it so I don't have to worry about drawing into it. And then to go with that, I have the Chimeritic Fortress Dragon, which, yeah, I didn't feel that there was any space in the extra deck normally to be playing it over any of the other cards, so I have it in the side deck. Still trying to figure out which card is the best to side out for it against Cosmo, but I'll be working on that. So yeah, that's the deck as a whole. Alright, yeah, extra deck, sorry. You said you missed the extra deck. Pretty much it was for 3 materials for the stick chair plays. I have Deltaros, Ouroboros, Masquerade. Oh, okay, here I got that written down right there. Yeah, and the reason I'm not playing Jurighetto, I was playing Jurighetto for a while, but I felt that it was just a cloggy card when I drew it. It didn't help any of my actual combos. I might consider putting it back in at 1 or 2 over something, but I'm not sure what. Like, my biggest issue with the deck is that, yes, it's really narrow in approach all around. Like, it is a stick share deck, and you will be doing stick share plays for almost everything. Without the extra deck, it's really hard to deal with stuff. That's another reason for playing the Lance in the main deck over MST, is against decks like Necros and Shadals. When they get out their Unicore window, it's another way I can push over it and get it off the board so I can do my other plays. But yeah, like, Jurighetto might go in to try and give it another option over other things, but I'm not sure. Like, I was playing it as a 1-up for a little while, but at the same time, I used to play Heroics. I played Assault Halberd and Thousand Blades, but I ended up trimming out the Thousand Blades at first, and then I ended up trimming out one of the Assault Halberds, so then at that point, the other one became the Photon Thrasher. It's just a better card if it's standing alone. But yeah, so that's the deck. Still, like, I've been working on it for about a month now. Definitely still needs some adjustments. But yeah, the deck's pretty cool. I really like it. So yeah, I'm going to pass it back to Josh. And yeah, whatever's happening is going to happen. I think that's pack opening, right?
Yeah.
All right, pack opening.
Pack open. So you guys can go watch